Diphtheria is caused by the bacterial microorganism Corynebacterium diphtheriae and causes disease by invading the tissue lining the throat and producing the toxin therefore most commonly found in the nose and throat. Corynebacterium diphtheriae releases dangerous toxins known as C. diphtheriae and can spread through the bloodstream and then often causes a thick grey overlay. People who carry diphtheria can spread this disease through them simply talking, sneezing, or coughing, which all contain droplets of infected agents into the air, breathed in by others around the infected person. Macrophages, which inhabit in the tissue, is the first line of defense. When C. diphtheriae is detected, there are receptors on the surface that see this foreign body. When macrophages receptors and C. diphtheriae come into contact, macrophages receptors begin damaging it. The macrophages also discharging cytokines and chemokines at the site of infection to induce inflammation. This inflammatory response also acts as a way to draw more immune cells to the area. The humoral response encompasses the transformation of B cells to plasma cells, which then secrete antibodies. It is these antibodies that coat the pathogen and disable it from adhering and infecting the host cells. Symptoms begin 2 to 5 days after they have been exposed to the bacterial infection. These symptoms are thick grey membrane coating your throat and nose, sore throat, swollen glands, fever and chills, weakness, and swollen neck. Vaccines have treated many diseases around the world, including polio, measles, diphtheria, whooping cough. Vaccines have eradicated one of the most terrible diseases, which is smallpox, but is still kept within laboratory walls. Vaccines help build up a person's immunity by imitating an infection. Vaccines are made up of dead antigens and cannot cause an infection. Yet the immune system sees this foreign pathogen as a threat. Rather, this helps the immune system build up T lymphocytes and antibodies to fight against the real disease. Usually after a vaccine, minor symptoms are expected as the body is building up an immunity. Once this imitation infection goes away, the body is now equipped with memory T lymphocytes, in addition to B lymphocytes that remember how to fight that disease. Diphtheria has been considered rare in Australia and no reported cases since 1992, thanks to vaccination programs, compared to the early 20th century where 23,199 reported notifications between 1926 and 1935 found 4,043 deaths. The diphtheria and tetanus vaccine can prevent diphtheria, but its protection does not last forever. Children need another dose at the age of 12. Then adults should get injected every 10 years. Diphtheria is very rare in the United States because of vaccines. Before a vaccine was introduced in 1942, diphtheria was a common childhood illness which killed an average of 3,500 children a year. However, the disease is still common in some parts of the world like Russia, India, Africa, Southeast Asia, and South America. In 1988, the World Health Organization, along with UNICEF, started a public health campaign to eradicate polio. Following immunization programs, cases dropped from hundreds of thousands to only 291 in 2012. However, post-2012 polio has begun to re-emerge in some areas. Conditions in countries such as Syria, Pakistan, and Cameroon have endorsed the disease to gain a grip once more, and it has quickly spread to Afghanistan, Iraq, and Equatorial Guinea. This re-emergence highlights the importance of consistent vaccination programs and continuous monitoring to keep the disease in check. The National HPV Vaccination Program began in 2007. This program provides the HPV vaccine free of charge to children in schools. Having these types of programs allow for the eradication, prevention, and control of the disease, an aim that helped eradicate the disease of smallpox. Thanks to the National HPV Vaccination Program, almost all Australian schools have now had the HPV vaccination. From that, there have been a 77% reduction in HPV types. In recent years, the smallpox vaccine has been used now worldwide and smallpox has now been eliminated. The last natural occurring of the diseases was in 1977 in Somalia. The World Health Organization declared smallpox eradicated by 1980. The global eradication of smallpox used a strategy of mass vaccination campaigns by the World Health Organization, which achieved 80% of vaccine coverage in each country, followed by ring vaccinations of all known possible contacts to seal off the outbreak from the rest of the population. Vaccinations save about 3 million lives a year worldwide and is one of the top 4 medical advances in the past 150 years, along with sanitation, antibiotics, and anesthesia. The majority of Australian children have been fully vaccinated. In 2012, around 92% of 12, 24, and 60-month-year-old babies have been fully immunised. These rates have been slowly increasing since 2012. Therefore, vaccines need to be successful in order to prevent, eradicate, and control disease outbreaks. Consequently, people then proceed to have a better quality of life due to these vaccination programs. Having successful vaccination programs allow for further progress in the medical field to help tackle bigger and stronger diseases and allow us to understand these diseases more. Thank you.